Ho ho! After 2 consecutive victories in La Liga, tomorrow Mallorca come to the Santiago Bernabéu. What do you want to keep seeing from your team against Arasate's side?
Good morning, everyone. Tomorrow we want to finish this first block of 3 matches, which has still felt like the final stage of preparation by growing. I think against Oviedo we took a step forward, and we want to take another one against Mallorca. Competing, winning, of course, and putting on a good performance at home so that the fans enjoy the team, that we also enjoy ourselves, and that we go into the international break with good feelings.
After what Vinicius went through from a section of the fans in Oviedo and what he usually faces away from the Bernabeu, do you think this situation has a solution in Spain?
We hope that wherever we go, the atmosphere is competitive, like it was in Oviedo, and that we know how to respond to the circumstances. I think there will always be unpleasant episodes in some stadiums, but when they are racist attitudes, then the proper authorities must intervene. As for us, we have to live with what comes our way and focus on the pitch, which is the most important thing.
I wanted to ask you about the Champions League draw, your reaction, especially regarding that trip to Almaty. How much will it affect you? And above all, don't you think it's excessive that in a midweek competition you're forced into an 8 or 9 hour trip, even if you're flying on a charter?
Yes, the group is demanding, but also motivating because of the rivals we'll face both at home and away. And yes, that trip is a bit of a special circumstance. We'll have to see how it fits into the competition schedule, where we're coming from and where we're heading before traveling to Kazakhstan. It's something exceptional, and we'll just have to handle the logistics as best as possible.
I want to ask about Ceballos, how you've personally experienced these past few days with all the talk around his future. And I want to know if you understand why he might want to leave, as he mentioned to Cazorla in that conversation in Oviedo.
Well, I spoke with Danny the other day, and yes, obviously, the situation was there. In the end, it was resolved with him staying. And my opinion from before this last week until now hasn't changed at all. Danny is staying here, he's part of the squad, and I'm happy he's with us.
Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself since the transfer window is still open for several days, but you just said Ceballos is staying. Is it now definitive that he stays? In that conversation, he seemed to accept the minutes you can give him. Can you share a little more detail?
Well, look, the details of what happened are better explained by him. But yes, it seems the decision is definitive, and Danny will have the same role he was always going to have. This situation hasn't changed my view of him. As for how much he'll play, that is unknown. Nobody knows. Not even I know.
I wanted to ask you about Fede Valverde and how you're seeing the Uruguayan as he adapts to the new style of football you're bringing to Real Madrid. Maybe he has to run less, but he has to do other things. How do you see him?
Very well. I see Fede as a fundamental player for us day in, day out, with his leadership, which he shows on the pitch, and how he inspires those around him. I see him in great shape. The first contact we had at the Club World Cup was good, and now is still good. And I think Fede can adapt to any style of play, and that's what he's doing. We don't talk much about it, but I'm very happy with him.
Yesterday, Rafaela Pimenta, Haaland's agent and one of the most high-profile agents today, commented on Vinicius's contract situation. She said leaving on a free is low level, and if he wants to leave, he should do so with class and elegance. You, who know a lot about class and elegance, and know Real Madrid very well as a former player, what's your opinion on Vinicius's situation? Will he renew or leave on a free?
I'm very happy with Vinny. The other day, I already said after the Oviedo match that he could have a strong impact coming off the bench. What I want is for him to have a great season. We're just getting started, and everyone is important. Vinny, for everything he's done at Madrid and everything we want him to do this season, will be a fundamental player.
What impact do you think it has in a dressing room, especially in a team like Madrid, when a star like Vinicius is on the bench?
I think a dressing room is made up, in our case right now, 25 first-team players plus some from Castilla. For me, the key thing is the team spirit, that everyone feels they are there to contribute, to have their moment, and when it's not their moment, to help from another role. That cohesion, that belief in it, for me, is fundamental. When there is that cohesion, that team spirit, it's very important and everyone is a key part. Within that, Vinicius is important, Fed is important, Courtois is important, everyone is very relevant.
You've spoken a lot about how important Tchouaméni will be in your Madrid for what he brings to midfield. I say that because I want to ask you about Camavinga, not to compare negatively with the others. You didn't have him in the Club World Cup, but you might after the international break if his ankle heals. There's always been this cliché that he plays at full throttle, goes in hard, sometimes late, a bit freestyle. What do you think of him? What's in his head and where does he fit here?
As you said, I'm really looking forward to having him. I've had him close, but not with continuity, which is what he would have liked and what I want as well. But he will contribute a lot because he has so many qualities of the modern player, dynamic, technically strong, and able to fit into what we want to do. I think he will have his place, and you can see he is very well liked by his teammates. He generates a lot of cohesion among the different groups in the squad, and that's also very important.
With a defender like Huijsen, who contributes so much to build up play, does that make you consider a different midfield, maybe less creative? Can you do that with him?
Everyone has to do a bit of everything. It's clear that Dean gives us very important things. He provides that calmness from the back, knowing how to find the short pass, the medium, the long one, and that's a great quality. That's why he's such an important and strategic signing for the club. But we have to complement the pieces. The more we link the different lines, the more balance and better spacing we'll have in our play, which helps us be more stable in performance. And with Dean, how we connect what happens next with him is very important. If we want him to only play with the back line, then we'll lose the midfield's involvement, and the midfield also has to participate.
The other day, Rodrygo goes started, playing on the left. Is that going to be his position, and do you think that's where he can show his best version?
He has played in different positions. On the left, I've also seen him as a 9, as a 10, and last season mostly on the right. But I do think that position the other day as a left winger was a very good one for him, combining, looking for 1-versus-1s, giving continuity to the play. And after a few games without much participation, it was important for him to get back into the team's rhythm. That was good news.
Are you thinking of repeating the idea of putting him on the left? Or as you mentioned before, Vinicius could also come in well in the second half, especially since Mallorca are expected to defend deep.
Well, if I told you what I'm going to do, it wouldn't be very smart of me. So we'll see what happens tomorrow.
You played for Spain in an era when Real Madrid provided many players for the national team. Today, Luis de la Fuente announced his squad, and Madrid contributes only Huijsen and Carvajal. Do you think this means Madrid should take more advantage of Spanish talent?
It goes in cycles. Luis decides which players he has to call, and I fully respect that. Hopefully in the future we can contribute more players. That would be good for us and I think also for the national team. I believe there will be candidates, but I respect the coach list. I'm glad that Carva is back.
Is the squad closed now heading into the weekend, counting Monday as the last day of the market in terms of arrivals and departures?
Probably, but I don't want to commit myself before the deadline. We're always attentive, but let's wait. It looks like it.
This week, while there's been a lot of talk about Danny, there's also been a lot about Thiago Pitarch. He's had 2 call-ups and several training sessions with the first team. I'd like to know what you've seen in him. What surprised you?
Honestly, I didn't know him very well, but when he started training with us, I liked him practically from the first day. He has a lot of dynamism, very good energy. He knows how to play between the lines. In the training match we played against Leganes, he made great runs from the second line and scored. He had already done that with Castilla in preseason. So he's helping us now with Jude and Eduardo missing from training. And it's good to know that we can use these Castilla players both for training and beyond. They are helping us. Thiago has a very good attitude too, like many of the boys who come from La Fábrica and Valdebebas, very well prepared. He'll be called up again.